Euro yen, catching some moves on euro yen. Nice. Is the ATR indicator the best of the best? It depends who you ask. The thing is, there's all these like different people out there who like tell you one indicator is the best indicator, or you should use price action and that's the best one, or you should use RSI, moving averages, whatever you want to say, right? People out there will tell you that something is the best, but the reality is the best is what works for you. It's like a little trick. The best is what works for you. There's not like an indicator that is absolutely the best, because different markets move different ways. In a trending market, certain indicators are going to work really well. Certain price action methods are going to work really well. But the big thing is making sure that you trade the right concepts in the right market environment with proper risk management and all the other, mumbo jumbo that we talk about over and over on my content. ATR is what you use to calculate stop loss. Yeah, you can use an ATR for a stop loss. I've seen a lot of people do that pretty well. Using the average true range and then putting a stop somewhere around that so that you don't get whipped out as easily. That can actually be pretty good. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining. I see a lot of people tuning in, dropping in. Hope you guys had a good week. Just jumped on Instagram Live just for fun, just to talk to you guys for a little bit. What's up, Uncle Deuce? What's up? Vanessa, be right back. All right. What do you think about the FX family? I'm not exactly. Are you talking? It's like a couple Instagrammers, right? I'm not too familiar. I'm not as active. Many of you guys probably. Actually, let's do something interesting. Are you guys? Do you know my content from Instagram or from YouTube? Like, which one did you find me on first? Comment that. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. What do you think of Jeremy Cash? I don't think I know that person. Okay, YouTube. Gotcha. I'm drinking off camera because I don't know if I can drink on Instagram. YouTube. Okay, yeah. IG. Boogie Traders. Nice. Yeah, I figured most people would know me from YouTube and come over to IG. But a couple of you guys know me just from Instagram, which is cool. Yeah, I'd say it's like 70% know me from YouTube, and then they followed me over to Instagram. You can drink on live? Okay, good. Well, my content for the most part is pretty clean, just because I talk trading and I talk investing, so it's not really like a, drinking or cussing kind of channel. But how many pips do you catch daily? It depends a day. The thing is, like, as a trader, you don't catch wins every single day. In fact, there are times where you have losing months, which sounds weird, right? Like if you're a newer trader and somebody says there are months, like plural, where out of the year you don't make money, that's so strange. Like when I was a new trader, I was like, how are you making money if there's months where you're negative? And that's just the reality of trading. Is it's more long term than a lot of people think. Even if you're day trading and scalping, you can have negative months. It's totally happened. Good genes. I like your eyes. Thank you. Are my eyes green or blue? I think right now they're kind of blue. What's your average payouts? I'm not sure what you mean by that. How do I master price action? Lots of practice, lots of back testing. How old are you? 23, almost 24. As long as you are 21, Nick, you can drink, I guess. Yeah, I'm 23. Regards from Panama. What's up? What's up, Tommy? How you doing? Sky green. Okay, that's like a good mix of green and blue. Opinion on gold, because looking at the big breakout soon. I'm bullish on metals, honestly. I have been for quite some time. Back when I used to do live streams all the time, I was on YouTube. I was always long on gold because we were above that 200-day moving average. It's the simplest concept, but I like going with the longer term momentum when looking at something like gold. What's your favorite movie? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what my favorite movie is now that I think about it. I've got a lot. I've got a lot of movies that I like. When did you feel comfortable enough to go full-time with Forex and the business? I don't know. It was, I had been working my full-time job and I made enough to supplement my job, and that was basically where I left. Between my trading and my YouTube channel, I think was like I was making enough to be comfortable. I wasn't making a lot, but I was making decent money. I remember, yeah, what's up, KL Brown? You remember the old streams? Since when do I trade? I've been trading since high school. I was like 18 years old when I first really started trading, because that's like the legal age to set up a Forex account in the US, I think. Yeah, I think it's 18, yeah. Do you find entries every day? Not every day. That's the thing. I don't take trades every single day. I'm not a super short term either. I'm mostly a swing trader, so that I don't have to sit there and look at charts all day. I swing trade, so I'll enter a position, and it might take me a week. It might take me 3 days, but I'm looking for those bigger pip movements or percentage movements if I'm looking at stocks. Ichimoku clouds. You know, I've never really gotten into them. They look really complex and really cool to me, but I've never really needed them or gotten into them. Favorite session? Well, I usually trade the New York just because I live on the East Coast, and it's easy enough for me. I also look at the Asian session. Usually when I go home from the office, I'll look at stuff going on the Asian markets. Nick, you're going to content and market makers. I've created some content that's like talking about potential smart money moves and COT reports and stop hunts and my opinion on those. So check those out on my channel. Are you a retail or institutional trader? I am a retail trader. I believe it is possible to make money as a retail trader. It is not easy, but there's not a ginormous difference between retail traders and institutional traders outside of institutional traders are working with larger capital. They usually have like better access to better execution on their platforms, but a lot of it is still the same concepts. It's applying risk management and being smart and managing money appropriately. Any tips for people's first live accounts? Trade small positions and trade with money you're able to lose and not worry about it too much. Do you think GJ moves the fastest in the Asian session? Most pairs move the fastest during the London session, but GJ is a very big pip mover for sure. Thanks, bro. What do you think about people who say retail traders can't make money? I think that's not true. I think it is possible to make money as a retail trader. You're not going to be a zillionaire, and people think they're going to make 100% plus per year. I don't think that is realistic, but I think making decent returns as a retail trader is totally possible. Favorite book about trading? I don't really read too much. I'm too dumb for that. I'm just kidding, but I don't really read very much. I do like this one book called Inventory Trading by Sean Campbell. Really, really good book. I like that one a lot. It was like this big, so it was good for me. What's your favorite? Oh, I already read that one. What pair should we trade if Donald Trump wins and long and short? That's an interesting concept. I haven't really thought about it. So the US dollar has been going down, which kind of makes sense, right? Because we've got a lot of quantitative easing, a lot of printing money, interest rates dropped. The question would be not so much if Donald Trump gets elected or not. It might be more so what the, Powell has to say about the Fed and maybe their upcoming movements and what their plans are for the next 5 years. That would probably be more indicative of potential price movements in the US dollar long term than who gets elected. Just my opinion. I think people put this ginormous emphasis on which president gets elected for the entire overarching economy, and I know that there is significance there, but it's not everything. How do you spot Forex scammers? That's a really, really interesting concept. Love your shirt, by the way. Thank you very much. You like that? If you're a goofy goober, you know. So how do you spot Forex scammers? If you are trying to spot Forex scammers, ask yourself, is what they're saying, does it seem like too good to be true? If yes, run away. If no, okay, maybe see what they're all about. You are so cute. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Do you like No Nonsense Forex YouTube channel? Yeah, I do like his stuff. It's good, good content. What was your starting capital? Back in the day, like $500, and then I had like $2,000 in stocks, $500 in Forex. I remember those days, and then slowly started to build it and deposit it from other sources of income. I did have a landscaping business when I was growing up, like just in high school and stuff. I was hustling and cutting yards for neighbors, and I had like 10 people that I cut yards for, which to me was pretty good. I was making good money and finding ways to deposit right back into my trading account. What are your thoughts on copper? I've not even looked at the copper market, but I like gold. I'm a fan of owning gold, personally. What do you think about getting funded with FTMO? Know that FTMO is a great way to get funded if you really know your trading inside and out. Like if you spent time and time again trading demo accounts and real money and feel confident in yourself, maybe go for FTMO. But my opinion is that they give you a lot of limits, so you have to understand you're not going to be able to use a ton of leverage when you use those sort of things. So be careful, be understanding of you have to be really good. You have to know your thing. Are you into real estate? Not really. I live in an apartment right now because I could afford a house. I could go that route, but for now I'm just growing my business and I'm growing my trading account and focusing on what I know very well, which is that stuff, rather than investing in a house. At some point I will buy a house. I will, maybe look into real estate, but it's one of those things. I am a believer in doing, really using your strengths. Keep up the good job, Nick, because you're one of the few that keep it real. Hey, thanks so much, Tyreek. I appreciate that, man. If Biden wins, the US dollar more likely to be fundamentally on a rally, higher taxes, etc. Yeah, there's a lot of speculation on both sides for sure. Do you think someone could be consistently profitable in 2 months if they came across all the right info and put in the time? I'm going to give you an answer you probably don't want to hear and say no, because I think that there's just so many things that kind of come through experience, through time, that 2 months could not be enough. I know you don't want to hear that because I didn't want to hear that. I'd be like, man, I don't want to hear that it's going to take me 3+ years or whatever. I want to start making money soon. And the reality is, now looking back on it, I busted it every day trying to learn this stuff, and it still took me like 2 years. So, Nick, you look like a celebrity actor, but I don't know who. Oh, well, let me know if you find out who. Have you ever blown an account before? Never blown an account, but definitely had accounts where I lost chunks of money being stupid. Would you recommend trading with the weekly COT report? Yes, but I don't use it as like my primary, oh, they're doing this, so I'm just going to go long on this, right? I use it as just like a filter. It's an additional thing to look at. Do you trade London session? No, I'm sleeping like a baby during the London hours. How much time do you put in trading when you first get started? Every day, all the time. Now, only about an hour a day. But when I was learning, man, there was nothing else. There was nothing else I was doing. I quit video games. I quit. My grades suffered in school. Like, I'm not saying you should do that because you should not. But man, I was addicted to trying to learn how to trade because it was a passion of mine. It became less. The more I realized I was making progress was when I realized like I wasn't even I wasn't caring about the money so much anymore. I was just caring about like learning the actual skills because I really was interested in it. Thank you for the good YouTube comment. Hey Tommy, thanks so much for supporting. Honestly, I've just been trying to do my best recently to respond to as many comments as I can on YouTube, but I'll say it here for any of you guys who watch my content. Thank you so much for the support. It really does go so far, and definitely encourages me to keep it up. So thank you so much. You prefer trading without an indicator or with an indicator? Indicators are just indicators. They're just pieces of the puzzle to look at. It's not like some secret, oh, you got to do this to get the right trades. It's analyze a bunch of things and make a proper decision and stick to it and manage your risk accordingly. Could you sustain yourself if you traded full-time without running A1? Yes, I could. Not before, but yes, I could now. Because I have the capital for it. I've built up the required capital. I could trade for a living, but I don't want to do that because I'd have to let go of my awesome team and we wouldn't be able to do content. And personally, this is not everybody, but I love being on camera. I love creating content and making people laugh and making people smile and all that great stuff. So yeah, I think I could trade exclusively for a living with no content or employees or YouTube channel. But definitely don't want to. Like, I don't find that as like trading for me is boring. I do it and I enjoy learning and researching stuff, but the actual execution of trading is supposed to be boring, I think. So I'm the same way now. I got out of school and I'm friends calling to hang out and I gotta decide. I hate it. Yeah, I mean, don't sacrifice every other component of your life to learn how to trade. Don't get me wrong. But if you want it, you gotta really, really go after it. And you have to understand that you need capital. Find other ways to fund your account and be humble. Go work. I used to work so much extra like jobs and odd jobs and tasks for people so that I could put more money into my trading account. That's how you know somebody is real, is when they're finding ways to deposit, not trying to withdraw every cent they make. If you have 100K capital, how much do you risk? I think 2% is too much. Certified, yeah, no, I agree. I think 2% on a 100K account, that's $2,000 per trade risk. That's a lot. So I think, yeah, when you get to the bigger capital sizes, when you get to 100K, 200K, 500K, when you get to those bigger numbers, you can risk less and still make decent money from rewards. I want it, I'll have it. Let's go, bro. I like that mindset. Hey, which broker do you use and recommend? I personally use Oanda for most of my trading, and you can find out other brokers that we've partnered with. There's a link on our website. So if you go to a1trading.com, you'll find out information there. How much capital do you need for trading for a living? It depends how much you're trying to live off of. If you're trying to live off of 5K a month, 2K a month, 1K a month, $500 a month, whatever you need, you have to find out that number for you, and you have to say how much percentage per month can I realistically gain on average. Have you ever heard of the ICT? I have heard of it, but I've never really gotten too far into that or looked into it too much. Use Zoanda, you know he's a real trader. I appreciate that. Drinking on a job. I'm off duty, man. Well, technically I don't really work set hours. I just work like all the time because creating content is part of my job. So I'm constantly working. So I guess you're right. I am drinking on the job. You caught me. Most use unregulated 500 times leverage exchanges. I do have an account open with a unregulated broker, which I know is terrible, but it's because I know the people personally that, or not personally, but I know some people that work there and they have really good reputation. So I do have some money in an unregulated broker, so I guess I'm a scammer. I want to stay with the Lakers game starting. Have you ever looked at QBank's course? No, I'm not a big course guy. You guys, you can't buy my course because I don't have a course for sale. I think that most trading, the learning in trading is going to come from personal experience. Like I think that is just so much bigger than any course anybody could give you. Not to say that they're all bad or that I have an opinion on them. I just think that the best skills come from learned experience. How much of your trading account or profit should you withdraw? As little as you possibly can. You don't see me driving a car that's super, super nice. You don't see me in a giant mansion. Although, you know, at some point, of course, like most people, there's nothing wrong with rewarding yourself with a house for your family and all that. Don't get me wrong, but you don't see me flexing those sort of things all the time because I believe that the true value especially for people who are still growing their accounts and working on that, is to understand that the value is to redeposit or reinvest your gains and be smart with your money. Use as little money as you can to live off of and reinvest it. Get rid of the fake wealth on Instagram. You already know, if you watch my content, you know I'm a big proponent of don't be that fake rich person. It's so lame. You're not seeing the big picture if you're doing that, because the reality is if you want to be really, really wealthy, you'll do it quietly. Because that's what really, I saw something one time where somebody was on in the day in the life of Jeff Bezos, and Jeff Bezos at that time was driving like a junky, I think it was like a Toyota Camry. It was like an old car. And I was literally like, dude, this guy makes 5 bazillion times more money than all those Instagram flexers, and he's driving a Toyota Camry. That is respect to the ultimate level, because you already know he could drive anything. He could drive a jet plane to work if he wanted to. and that dude's driving a humble car. And I was like, man, I respect that. Like, there's nothing wrong with celebrating, you know, victories in your life, but something for me, like if you love sports cars and that's like always been something for you, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who like get nice cars, nice clothes, nice bags, whatever, just to look rich. I think that is like, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't know why. It's a reliable car. That's right. Hey man, I drive a truck every day, and I've got no. Dude, I can afford a nicer car. Let's be real. I could. I just don't see why I need that. Like for now, maybe at some point, maybe yeah, I'll get a nicer car. But I made a joke. You guys, be looking out for this. If you guys see it, comment that you heard me tell you guys about it on live, because I had so much fun doing this. I did like a little like skit kind of that's coming out on Instagram sometime. I'm sending it to Will. He's going to be editing it and seeing how it goes. But I made a skit about like people making fun of my car, and it's like, it's going to be bad if I try and explain it, but basically it was like me saying like, don't hate on my car or whatever, don't hate on my Lamborghini, and it's really just like my truck, which is an old truck, but I love it. So just do you, man. My man's living humbly. I appreciate it. Buy things with purpose. That's the reality, right? So yeah, like honestly, I could buy a nicer car. Don't get me wrong, I could. But for me, I have the vision of like, I want to buy a good house. Like that's something that I value, not because of a flex, but because like I plan to get married, I plan to have kids, and I think that like most of you guys probably agree, like your home is important. That's like a sentimental value to you. So I don't know. You guys agree? Do you guys agree house before car, or are you thinking car before house? I'm not saying it's wrong. Like if you like think like, yeah, man, I want to reward myself with a nicer car. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that for me personally, it's like my car works, so why not focus on getting the house that I want, and then get a car later. Lambo's the sign you're a trader. Hey, I have a Lambo. I do have a Lambo. I don't, but I have my truck. I call my truck my Lambo, in case you aren't familiar with that. Sandy Springs is a great place to get a house. You know, I've been looking. I did some house touring, but we'll see. Do you have a signals group? We have a community. There's an A1 trading community run by myself and our staff. You can check that out in the description. Proud of you. People like you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. I don't know. I don't say that stuff to like come across as humble. My goal is just like, honestly, I remember when I was an aspiring trader, right? I was trying to learn this stuff. I was trying to figure it out and build capital. I'd see people who were like flexing on me with like these super nice cars, and their whole like angle of approach was like, look how amazing my life and how crappy yours is. Buy my course. And I was like, man, that just left such a bad taste in my mouth about the industry and like how fake that is, because a lot of those guys are renting those cars, they're showing you a lifestyle just to get you to buy something. And I just find that not cool. You're in Georgia, bro? Yes, I am, sir. I am. We've got an office in Buckhead. What do you think of people who pay for signals instead of learning? I think that they have the right. See, the thing is, like in hindsight, it's like, oh, you shouldn't buy signals because you're just copying someone else. You won't know what's going on. You're going to over leverage. You're going to do all the dumb mistakes, right? But the intent is okay. Like, to think about it, it's like, well, these guys have invested tons of time. I should be able to just copy their trades and make money with it. The reality is just different, right? Because it's like, you might copy someone's trade, and they very well may be a good trader, but because you copy it and you have no idea what's going on, you may over leverage, you may, start not believing anymore when things don't go well, right? Looking like a Krispy Kreme donut with extra glaze? Hey, that's the best compliment I've gotten all day. After starting Forex, it put me on a path to financial literacy, and at this moment, I feel like I have the knowledge to be a financial advisor. Hey, you should go get your license. Why not? You guys keep all the great questions going on. Let me get a bite. Oh, Whoa, chill out on that. We did a video once where we handed out donuts. Oh, this is a story for you guys. So we did a video once where we handed out donuts on the street. And before, I literally said, I was like, somebody's going to say we're doing this just to look good on the internet. And sure enough, we had some people that commented that. I thought that was so sad. Because like we commented, we were handing out donuts to people on the streets of Atlanta to try and like raise positivity during all this coronavirus stuff, right? There's so much controversy, so much political unrest, and so much hate and anger, right? We just wanted to go do something nice. And sure enough, we got negative comments. But that to me was like proof that people will find a way to get mad at you for literally anything. So just, I don't know, just do you. Why am I ignoring my comment? Your comment? Sorry, I didn't see it. What EMI you use? I don't use EMAs, but I do use like the simple 20, 50, and 200. What's your opinion on Nick Sean or Momo FX? I'm not sure who. I think I know Nick Sean, but I'm not sure. And there's a lot of people. There's always like new faces popping up. Honestly, I don't really watch a lot of other people's trading content. To be honest, I just focus on ours and improving ours as much as possible. Plan on getting a license and possibly start your own investment firm? Maybe someday. I haven't ruled it out. Honestly, I've thought about it. I think that the next step to that may be starting a prop firm at some point. That's something that we've talked about at the office. So maybe someday we will get to those things. How did you feel to make your first K? Really good. Felt great. Took a lot of time and a lot of dedication to get there, though. 1 hour, 4 hour, or daily chart, which is your favorite? My favorite chart is the daily and 4 hour personally. What's a prop firm? So a prop firm is like, it's a private investment firm. So it's like, okay, I have capital. I want to hire traders to manage that capital. And you actually, a lot of times, open it up to public. So like, let's say that the company has like $10 million to invest in traders, right? So we give 50K to one person, we give 25K to another person, 100K to the other person, and we let people trade that money with rules set on it. Like you can't lose this amount of money in a day, those sort of things. Like FTMO, if you're familiar with that. They are a prop firm, right? So they're letting people trade their money and getting a return themselves, as well as funding and giving people the potential to make money on their own. What's the plan for the rest of the night? I'm trying to play some video games. I haven't played any games in a while, so I was seeing if some friends wanted to play, but it's quiet. Cheddar Nick, bro, what do you think of order blocks, sell, buy side liquidity, and liquidity voids? I'm not big. I don't really trade those things, to be honest. I know that there's like people who do that, and that's like their approach. And I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just not something that I personally use or need. I think you're the coolest educator ever. Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. I don't really think of myself as like an educator. I honestly I just think of myself as like somebody who's trading, creating content about it, and people happen to ask questions and I answer them. Fall Guys, bro, does anybody play Among Us? Like, do you guys play Among Us? Would that be weird to play Among Us together? Because I don't play Fall Guys, but I've been trying to play Among Us. But dude, the worst thing about playing Among Us is that people, you need like so many people to play. You need like 10 people in a lobby. Do you trade indices? Sometimes. Not all the time. Usually only if I see a setup that I really, really like and I'm willing to risk a bit more, I'll trade an index. Besides baby pips, how do you get Forex knowledge? Learn how to backtest concepts and go get on a chart and backtest. There's also simulators that you can get online. Some of them are free. There's better paid ones that are like $5-10. So definitely something to think about. Those help a lot, I think. If you had a prop firm, do you think you would have restrictions on holding trades over the weekend? I understand why FTMO does, but it can be hard for a swing trader. Good question. So you have to think about it from the prop firm perspective, right? Because like, let's say you have $1 million, and you say, okay, well, I want to allocate this to different traders to diversify that money, you have to think of yourself, well, traders can make some really dumb decisions. They can make some really costly things on your money that you are letting them trade. Right? So when you flip the script and you think about it from FGMO or any of those prop firm companies, when you think about it from their perspective, it makes sense that they have a lot of regulations because it's their money and they have the right to do that. So something to think about is holding it for the weekend. There's risk there with that weekend gap. I can't honestly say if I would have that regulation or not, because I haven't done a ton of research in this, and if I was to do a prop firm, I would probably hire somebody who has experience with that to help me set that up, because I don't have a ton of experience there. Congrats on the Tesla trade, by the way. That's been fun to follow. Dude, oh my God, that Tesla trade, I don't mean to flex, but that's definitely my best trade. Like, and the thing is, so I have a smaller stock account. I say smaller because it depends where you are in the world, and some people get mad at me. But the point is, on one of my smaller accounts, I think I put like $3,000 into Tesla, and that has made $6 grand on it. So $6 grand profit off of that three. So it's at $9,000. Crazy. I would not like say I could do that every day, or I make 200% gains all the time, but crazy, crazy trades. Hey man, love your videos, taught me a lot. Thank you, you're very welcome. Thanks so much for watching and supporting. Price could open at different levels. Yep, definitely the weekend gap to think about. TradingView has a whole monopoly when it comes to charting. I like TradingView, but I also really like MetaTrader. I know it's like some people don't like MetaTrader, but I just find it really simple. I don't know. All right, guys, that's all I've got for now. Thanks so much for joining me on the live session. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We've still got some content coming out this weekend, so if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow my Instagram page. I don't know, does this even get recommended to random people on Instagram? I think all of you guys are probably following me. If you aren't, follow the page for free. We got some good memes that are coming out, so stay tuned. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday.